All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Modified Darvas Box MDB, and we got another weekend review. So exciting. We've had a hard bottom and recovery, and all of a sudden we were all completely bearish, and the world is caving in a few weeks ago, and now all of a sudden everything's rebounding, and we're back in a bull market. Right. Man, the market makes you buckle your seatbelt, and this is a wild ride. And now this week we had, the Fed giving even stronger signals about a rate cut, and maybe a rate cut in September, that is, and just getting bulls and everything juiced up, and back to bullish. But are we back in a bull market? Yeah. Uh, do we buy the same old tech stocks and everything that was ripping the last 6 months or whatever? You know what? You know what's interesting? On this, as I went through the charts as to what's signaling and what's breaking out, the answer is actually no. The answer on this one is you got to look for new ideas. Like, remember how we were buying NVIDIA and ARM and chips, Qualcomm and everything that was going up? Those ones are struggling to make headway in this V rebound. So it's really kind of interesting. So a lot of new names. So you got to change up your watch lists. The things you thought might be going up. Nah, man, the market shifted, and it's brought a whole new list of winners to look at. So we're going to get into it and go see what's looking at new triggers, and I'll show you a few examples of what it is I'm talking about. But definitely the bearish side is sort of over at the moment. There's still a few ugly bear stocks, there always are. So depending upon how you manage your money and your portfolio, in this market you can still be 100% bullish, you can be 50-50, or you could still be a little bearish, and I wouldn't blame you if you were. But yeah, we'll get into it and take a look. For anyone who's never watched my videos, I'm an independent trader investor. I created my own unique trading strategy based on the book, How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market, by Nicholas Darvas. It's a wonderful book, and I've added elements of the strategy to help create signals and tradable, actionable signals to identify them, because that's what trading's all about. You get a signal, and then you trade the reaction to the signal. However the market reacted, and in many ways, my opinion, the reaction to the signal is more important than the signal itself. But with my system, I can identify a signal. I can wait all weekend. I can examine it, research it, and then I can trade it on Monday. You don't need to be an action trader all the time with this type of system. And my core time frame is weekly. You might look at stocks intraday, daily, 2 days, weekly, monthly, whatever. The point is, whatever your system is, be consistent. That's probably the big number one thing of advice I could give anybody. Just pick something and consistently apply it to all time frames. Because something may look incredibly bullish on the daily time frame, but it doesn't look so hot on a weekly time frame. Or maybe it looks outright bearish on a monthly time frame. Then you might be fighting against the current, trying to swim upstream, and you don't even know it. So, anyways, sit back in your chair. Hopefully, you got something nice to drink, and we'll get into it. I'm a little late on this video just because of my crazy morning, but wanted to make sure we got going. Okay, so starting with indexes, I've got watch lists here, and I move stocks around in it all the time. We're going to look at the top four as to what's triggering. So I always start with indexes, and here we go. AMZ, proxy for MLPs, and these are oil and gas partnerships that do income. Anyways, you can see a lot of Darvas boxes on here, not a lot of colors, but on weekly view, and sideways action. Not so much of a V recovery here in oil, but a little bit of recovery. So if you're a long-term holder, you're like, well, this was a scary day, scary week, but then it rebounded here, and now we're back to cruise control, following the moving average. This is the one thing about moving averages I'm a huge critic of. Well, am I supposed to be selling here or am I supposed to be buying here? I don't know. So I try to avoid 50-50 bets, and many people seem to love making 50-50 odds bets, but you're not going to make a ton of money in the market betting on 50-50 scenarios. It's better for you to bet on scenarios that have much higher probability than that of winning. Okay, ARC, Kathy Wood. There's the signal from a month ago. There's the dip, the huge scary gap opening, which frankly screwed me up on a few positions. But I covered the shorts and that's probably was the sentiment low. The huge gap open on a Monday morning where the futures were just getting crushed. And at that point, traders speak, trader logic, where if the giant gap opening was the scariest event in weeks and months, and this is as low as it can go, at that point, just cover and go long. That's what looks like most people did. And now the V recovery and it's back to the top. But here's the significant thing. Sideways range. It's in a box. Did it break out to new highs? No. So there's a good chance this keeps going sideways in the future. I do not recommend ARC at all. It's just there because it's got some handy colors on the charts. And examples of colors on the charts, like that I use, yellow bar buy signal, coded yellow, blue, and pinks. These are signals to sit up and pay attention. And whether the pink is a bearish tilt, the blue is a bullish tilt. But again, reactions to the signal. Those are just signals. You're interested in buying the reactions. Well, this one reacted down, this one reacted up, and this one reacted up. So, it's the reaction signal. There's a signal, a bearish hammer, inverse hammer, also called a shooter, and the reaction was down. That's time to get short, or sell or get short. Keep it simple. Don't make this so complicated. Trend lines and everything, bah humbug. Okay, proxy for oil, sideways. Oil's not coming back in demand. Still, there's the threat of a recession. Maybe a recession's going to happen in September. I don't know. But rate cuts usually aren't your friend. That's the problem. But there's some interesting things going on about what will all the liquidity do that unleashes. Will it send us to a new high bull market, or are stocks going to drop again because it actually signals recession? I don't know. And if anybody says they know, well, then they're full of crap. So take everything with a grain of salt. If you don't know, just say, I don't know, man. The NASDAQ, here we are. There's the shooter signal, which coincided with the start of a Darvas box drawing, which I'm using. Darvas himself would use the top, but I kind of like to find a spot in between sometimes. But there's the signal. We then dropped hard, the big panic gap open, and now we rebounded, that nice V recovery. Does that mean that this is going to keep going higher? I don't know. Because you know what? Big tech isn't leading so much on this rebound. So maybe on this one, we've got more sideways action coming instead. And a lot of people bailed out of here. Look at that. Big red, big red, big red, big red. That money that came out isn't pouring back into the NASDAQ at this point. So we may see a lessening of the rally going forward. We may see more sideways action going forward. That's my opinion, anyways. Ethereum sideways. Yeah, you could have bought it on the panic gap open, but you need to be a real bull on that. And with all these red bars, selling bars in here, that wouldn't have grabbed me. So until we get some big green bars, I'd say the red selling is in effect. This really isn't a long trade. Notice there's no signals in here. Maybe you could use the box edges as a signal, but That's sort of, why bother? FFTY proxy for growth. Look at that. Huge box breakdown. Look at all the selling. The bulls, however, step back in saying, well, maybe we've done a little too much. And it's got that V look to it. But if it was a big, powerful V that we need to be interested in, this price would be back up to 28 instead of being at 26. So no thanks. Pass. China. It came from China. A little rebound there, but who cares about China? GBTC, the proxy for Bitcoin, they messed up this proxy when they took a slice out of it. Still, the downturn, a little rebound, but I'm looking for new proxies for Bitcoin. Probably have to use one coming up in a sec. The IBIT. Gold moving higher. Box breakout right here. Big volume. Selling, but the selling ended up at the top of the range. Created an inside bar coated gray, and the bulls then broke it out. But gold might be still trying to say something based on what the Fed's up to. It's had quite a rally coming all the way from down here up to here, but you got to be patient with this one. But look at that. That, in hindsight, I'm sure you're like, I should have bought some. But it is what it is. Junk bonds. This is the most interesting of these sort of index ones. Look at that. Box breakout right here on this huge box range. Box breakout. Now, volume's low, but maybe you see, now I'm beginning to interpret this as they want higher yielding paper, but also if the Fed's going to cut, that's going to help industries that are under stress right now. And, industries that are under stress issue a lot of junk bonds. So this I could see now why it's bullish, because it means a lot of those companies under stress with a rate cut, well, they're going to be able to make their payments and not default. So because of that, junk bonds are becoming a little bit of a better risk. But we'll see. But that's a really, really good statement about the economy going forward. If I change it to a monthly view, you can see this little mini box it's in. Still has a ways to go before it hits the tops, but on the giant box here. But basically, the whole point is that if junk bonds are doing good, it means that a lot of risk is coming out of the economy. I bet on Bitcoin sideways. There's the panic low. But yeah, it looks great, but sideways. Sideways range. Software, V rally, but notice it didn't go back all the way back up to the highs. It sort of made it 80% of the way back. And now the sellers are beginning or traders are beginning to take those V gains. Not as powerful a leader, IGV, not as powerful a leader now as it was, let's say back in here when it was number one. Those are the subtle differences you got to look for. ITB, construction, home building, cut rates. People want to buy homes, right? Box breakout, but volume is light. Still, if it breaks out like that, it's still doing fine. It can work. And remember the progression of signals. Here's the big signal to have bought it and gotten long. You buy it right on here. Sure, you could sit in all that volatility, but you're still long off of the yellow bar signal, and you're making money. What do you care? Boom. Microcaps coming back, nothing special. IWM coming back, nothing special. Again, notice the rebound. This was like number one here, the drop, and now it only rebounds to like 80% of what it lost. Not a leader. Here's a leader, healthcare. The prick Obama screwed everything up, and the Democrats make a mess of everything. And the end result is insurance companies make tons and tons of money. I just redid my Geico insurance. I barely drive. It went up like 25%. I called and bitched them out, but yeah, they're not going to change. Insurance job, what a racket. But look at that. We've got some of this in the family trust and healthcare. You're looking for something powerful breaking out. Compare healthcare to technology, like we just saw, making new highs. There's a leader right there. Transports, yeah, V coming back. And actually, this is interesting. It started the drop somewhere in here. It's recovered all of that. Not a leader, but I think you get the point, huh? Buy leaders. Gold, I never should have sold it, but oh well. Never had a ton of money in it. QQQs, 80% rebound versus healthcare. Oh, which one's more powerful? Healthcare. But not bad. And notice here, sell, 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 buy. So is this one going back down to lows? No, I doubt it. But it could easily fluctuate between 480 and 450. Why not? Sideways. Equal weighted index. That says, a lot of NASDAQ stocks participated, but not all the ways. Regular stocks, regular market, RSP, box breakout, a ton of buy, sell. But it didn't go down much on the dip, and now the rebound is taking it to highs. The family trust has a lot of stuff that might be in this. So we are happy with this rebound, definitely. Stronger than the tech side. Remember what I said at the beginning? Technology, all the big tech leaders we've been conditioned as being the big winners. Yeah, they're not leading at the moment. So it's time for new blood. Short-term bonds, yep, going up. Fed's cutting. Look at that, going back up. It also is signaling that perhaps inflation isn't such a problem now. But, food inflation's a problem, but we shall see. Semiconductors. Signal right here, the get out. Yeah, it's not going to the floor, but is this an 80% rebound? No, man, it looks more like a 65% rebound. Semiconductors have lost some mojo here. Sideways. S&P 500, box breakout, which is impressive considering that we've just learned that technology isn't coming back as hard as other areas. Which is better, RSP, equal weighted index, or the S&P 500, which now has the tech companies in it, which are weighing it down a bit. It's still bullish, but not a powerful box breakout. It is a box breakout, just not a powerful, huge volume one. Signals, baby. Signals and reactions. Spies confirming, sentiment heading back to the highs, but nothing crazy. Still in the middle range. What is this? The 200-day. Stocks above the 200-day. Yep, moving up. 60% now. Stocks above the 40-day moving average. Much bigger rebound here, huh? Solar, yeah, whatever. Rebound back into the box, but who cares? TLT, bonds. If you read volume analysis, we're buying, box breakout. Yeah, no, thanks, we're going to sell a bunch. Then indecision. An indecisive inside bar. I don't know, man. I don't know which way we should go. And now the market's tilted bullish on bonds. There's your signal. There's your reaction. Not really a powerful signal, but it just shows that the direction in the bond market is that rates are going down. The VIX. The huge move up, and then sell volatility, and now we get back to normal. And we just are back now here at 15. If the market improves, maybe we go back into these zones right here, but not yet. So risk is still a little elevated, but it's nothing like it was here. And again, I pointed this out, how it signaled right down here on the monthly. You don't have to trade the VIX, but it gave a signal to watch out, and that signal came true. Boy, did it come true. But now, those moves are typically short-lived. If you had bought options on this sucker, woo-wee, you made a fortune in a very short time. What's next? Commercial real estate. REITs. Moving up. Housing again, another housing proxy. Box breakout, missing volume, but hey, it's moving up. All those people are going to buy homes, right? With lower mortgage rates. XLE, sideways, definitely sideways. And you know what? Here's another volume analysis I just see. When you get big red followed by a big enough green, that usually, shows that buyers went in and you're probably in for a sideways range because that selling force got checked by the buyers. It doesn't mean you're going back to new highs or anything, but it probably suggests that, yeah, that's enough for now. And it's probably going to go sideways. Bonds. There you go. There's that bullishness on bonds. Financial sector going back up. It's usually led by JP Morgan. So that's it on indexes. Let's get into textbook Darvas box breakout leaders. List 2. So this is ones where we've got a textbook box right here and then a breakout on big volume. So I mentioned this one. I am long this one, by the way. I mentioned this one back here in June because of this huge volume bar. Biggest volume in this stock's history. And I suggested that that's going to change the supply and demand equation or dynamics on this. What does this stock do? It does like mortgage software. And here we go. I bought it there. And there was a signal here. I sold it here. And then it had its earnings gapped up, and I bought it back here. And now we've gotten some big green volume along with some red this week, but it sort of rebounded halfway. It looks fine. Would I prefer it a little higher? Yeah, but you see the Bollinger Bands, this little line? Typically, stocks, when they break out, will follow the Bollinger Band because that's volatility. Typically, if price is above the Bollinger Band, that means prices are a little abnormal range, and many like options guys will sell into it, or computers will sell into it. That's reversion to the mean. When it's within the lines, that means it's within a, quote, normal volatility. So look where it closed, right on the edge of normal and abnormal. Typical. But as a long trade, it's doing fine. Sit, hold tight, see what happens. But that's a textbook box breakout. And as housing goes up, I bet that does well. Berkshire, Warren Buffett getting richer. Look at this, 3 weeks, higher, higher, higher. Just like the S&P 500, just like everything else. CVNA, moving higher. Box breakout back here. A lot of shake and bake inside here. With a couple of these are some of my trades. Buy, sell. Well, I bought it here, sold it. Here are the first red. Rebought it here, got screwed on the big gap down, and then just rebought it again. It would have been better if I'd simply bought it here and sat, but what am I supposed to think when it gaps down all the way back down here? Hindsight shows the volume looks great. Green, green, green. Where's the red? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? There's no red. Buy it. And it's moving up. So making some of that money back. Housing. One of the biggest home builders in the country, D.R. Horton. Yellow bar buy signal. Textbook Darvas box breakout, get long, and what's it doing? Yeah, futzed around a little bit in here. V, uh, uh, V downwards and then back upwards. Where? I don't even see it. This hardly sold off at all. And if you're watching it, you made a note of it and you tried to buy some. And now, new highs. Whoop. LMT, box breakout, defense. This barely budged. And now here we've got an inside week. If you didn't buy any of this and you're thinking of buying some, there's your signal. But a signal could go two ways. So if I was long, I would be watching this one closely. What is it going to do next week? And maybe it's time to take a little profit. On the flip side, if you're bullish, wait till it gets to the top here, then buy it. That's how you use signals. We've got a signal. Now we need to see what the reaction to this signal is next week. MNDY, yep. Confusing. Down signal, up signal, bearish, then bullish, and now with the box breakout, and now a little potential, little stoppage, but bullish. Ferrari. Anybody going to buy a new Ferrari? Well, the rich keep getting richer. Box breakout. Green follow through. Look at that. Gorgeous. And Race has been a great stock all the way from all the way back here. There's boxes in here. I just didn't draw them. But box breakout. Or here, I'll circle these. Box breakout. Box breakout. Big volume, big volume. I mean, what more do you need? Lovely sideways. Breakout. That's how it's done. Box breakout and a yellow bar on Rivian. Now, this pulled back, almost negated the box breakout, but yeah, it looks like it's now beginning to turn back up. Yeah, it's a brand new box range, but I'm not going to draw it yet, but something like that. However, you had a sell signal here. It's moving up, just like we saw in LMT. If you had sold it there, taken the quick gains, well, you didn't have to put up with any of these headaches down here. And if you loved it, you could buy it back somewhere down here. But what I mention a lot is wait for your signal. Are there any real signals here on the daily? Any real signals here on the weekly? There's not much to go off of on this one. So it's barely clinging to the status. Roku. Darvas box breakout. Not the most powerful. I have no idea what's going on, but I noticed this in the scans and it fits the profile. So I got to show it. RTX, defense, box breakout, moving higher. Shop, huge box breakout here. And I bought some this week right here. A little late, but better late than never. Frankly, I should have bought it right here, but man, you know, I wasn't watching it that close. I don't know. But this is the other thing. There's multiple opportunities to buy something if you missed it. Traders always kick themselves. Oh, I missed it. Oh, actually, there's usually multiple ways to get back in. Shark Ninja, box breakout, moved higher, and sort of doing fine, moving along that Bollinger Band line. TKO, exact same look, box breakout. Hanging in there, probably goes higher next week. Upstart. Boy, I should have bought some of this. And I said I was concerned last week about valuation. Well, apparently that's not a big concern at the moment. Because if they're going to cut rates bigger, well then, yeah, then this makes sense that this is going up more. Because it's going to juice car sales, or at least it should. But you see what a mess this stock is? It's It's typically because it's probably a little overvalued, but big big volume here. And look at the difference on volume between this and like Roku. Roku's a little muted. Upstart, a lot of people hit the buy button, so there's a lot of eyes on this one. Looks great. Venom going up. I own some of this in my income portfolio because I'm into this for the divvy. I've owned this a very long time. But box breakout. Walmart. Box breakout. Look at that. Big volume. Moved higher. Here's your signal right there. But again, look how it's box breakout here, here. I mean, that's just the profile of a winner. You could have bought this all the way back here and just sat and made money, or you could day trade and waste your time. Why not just buy it and sit and hold? Okay, bullish signals list. List 3. You would expect this list to be a big one, right? Yeah, so do I. Because of the rebound, we got lots of signals. Now, some of these signals might not be good ones or all that attractive. For example, A-Lab. That right there is a signal. How interested should we be in this one? Well, it's down here at lows. I don't know, man. I shorted this one all the way down. Well, short cover, because it gave signals here. And most IPOs tend to go down, not up. So I made the real money on this short here and then covered down here. And now we got a signal. Does that mean I should go long? Well, barely. Where's the big green volume? So I wouldn't classify this as a, oh my God, I got to have it type signal. But I am putting it on there to document signals. APP. Oh, I've got APP on here as an example of stocks with no signals. And actually, this shouldn't be on the list. But it rebounded all the way from the gap down and is moving higher. And it's got big green volume. But here's the question. Where's the signals as far as my system? You might like this. Probably the only real signal is here. Top edge of the box. Which means a buy like right somewhere in there. Because this is an example of some of the bullish names that are showing, but there's no signals, so I don't trade these. And in fact, I'm going to move this one back to watching. But I wanted to show this as an example of stuff that looks great, but doesn't have any signals that fits anything I'm looking for. Axon blue signal right there. Looking good. A little sideways, but looking good. BLDR related to housing. Small box here. Box breakout, but missing volume. That's why it's on this list. I don't know if I'd be hugely interested in this because I made good money shorting it from here to here. But it's a signal. Okay, Kava. Another example of stocks that are doing great. Everybody's falling all over themselves, going gaga. Where's the signals? Based on my system, I don't trade these. But there's the gap down, and it just took off. Amazing move on this. But here's a little cap. Because this big volume is, it's not really at the beginning of a move. It's more after it's gone up 50 bucks. This might be more of a selling volume than a buying volume, as a signal to sell if you use volume. But I don't know. We'll see. But again, a bullish name that's come out, no signals. If it has no signals, I move it and I move it out. Not interested. This one, box breakdown, but here is your signal. Strong signal, I'm not interested, but an example of a bullish signal. Notice how I could move this one back to box breakdowns and avoid and not lose a moment's sleep over it because there's no big green volume. And notice now the list of bullish triggers is getting a little shorter. This one here, box breakout, no volume, but I'm long this one at 970. So I'm up a buck. Woo! I'm rich. Gonna retire. But it looks positive to me. Costco. There's your signal. There's your trigger. Moving higher, top of the box. Maybe it breaks out next week. But that's a positive. The signal was here, and it's moved up 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. Every week is closed higher. This one right here, inside bar. There's your trigger signal. Triggered. Get long. Is there any big red down here? No, there's definitely big green. You missed the big giant move? Not sure when to buy? Well, there's your trigger. Buy some on Monday. Dash, there's the bullish signal. I tried shorting it here. I covered there. I should have bought it here, but I'm not wild about Dash. I don't order DoorDash. I think it's a waste of money. But obviously other people like it. But it's been moving up, so it stays on this list. Yellow bar buy signal. Yeah, you could have bought it. A little volatile, but examples of signals. ELF. Okay, I am long this one. I bought some this week. There was the signal, the weekly signal from the prior week. If you're paying attention, you drew a trigger in here. I actually didn't even buy this on Monday. I bought it on Tuesday because it gapped up and then immediately ripped up higher. And I'm like, come on, man. See this bar right here? It moved up and then came down. And then I'm like, well, okay. So then I bought some on the Tuesday, the day after. And it sort of recovered itself. The signal moved up and now it's higher. Easy peasy. General Electric, bullish signal coming out of a box, but no real volume. GOV with not a great recovery, but the CEO, I believe, was a buyer down in here, and that's a good off-chart signal. But see, there's a potential signal. Your trigger line is right there, and now it's slowly moving higher. IoT breaking out. Low volume, though, but that's a signal. Sneakers, ONON. Not an easy one to trade, but that's a box breakout. High moving higher. Signals here. Actually, this is more of a bearish signal. We had bullish yellow bar. Now we got a bearish shooter bar. That color and this means it's a little bearish. But it did also try to go up here, so we'll see. And the list gets a little shorter. PLTR, big blue bar signal, moves higher. I'm long it right here. I didn't like how it closed down. Why didn't it keep going up? But we'll give it one more week. If this keeps dropping, then I'll just take the quick money and be done with it. Roblox. Not a box breakout here because low volume, textbook one, but it is a box breakout. Now here comes the volume. Looks bullish. Reddit. What signal is it? Ask yourself. Inside bar. There's your trigger. It's going higher. It does have a green bar, so yeah, some money really did come into it. But based on the pattern, is this going to go back up to 74? Hard to say. I mean, it was at 76 just a few weeks ago. Went down to 50, and now, so it's a signal, a valid signal, but am I super excited about it? Not really. SE example. I do own this one, which is why I've got this on the list. Another one like APP and Kava. The big mess around, what are you doing, drop, the gap open, and then just go straight up from there. I mean, can it be more difficult to trade? I mean, come on. I did step up on this one because I've owned it before, but just so annoying, you know? SG, bullish signal here, moved up. Volatile, but that's a bullish hammer signal. So, where do you put this? Somewhere off the top. If it keeps going, you got a great one. SMCI, bearish signal, but it's bullish when price hits the top of it to negate it. But it hit it, and then it sort of didn't do anything and did nothing. This is more along the where it's sort of a signal, but it's not really a signal. And as a result, should you put your money in this? In my opinion, no. Because look, there's the other big prior signal, and it went straight down. Any big volume? Volume analysis, big red followed by a big enough green. That suggests more like sideways than rocketing back up. But I'll leave it here for now. Signal here, inside bar. Triggered to the upside, moving up. Uber box breakout. So we've seen 80% V's, 65% V's, and now here's 105% V bottom, V recovery. So, should Uber be back on your radar? Yeah, I think so. URI, box breakout, low volume, but hey, that's a signal. And then this Zeta keeps moving higher. So a decent bullish list. And you know, if we flip to the NAM, 74 followed by 50, let's see, 83, 75, 56, and now back a rebound. Nothing crazy, reasonable. Okay, now the last list, bear signals. This list probably is bigger than it needs to be, and you'll see why. Airbnb looks awful. Inside went sideways. Because it didn't resolve either way, I'm keeping this on for maybe one more week. Amazon dropped from that 200 level, and it's only recovered only about 50% V recovery. It did go up here and then up a smidge, but I'm going to give this one more week. But a great example here of how the big tech leaders we thought, yeah, they're not leading so much right now. A lot of selling. Mr. Bill, pink bar signal, that's a potential bearish one. Bearish tilt. So like I mentioned at the beginning, there are some bearish stuff. The bros, 2 inside in a row. We'll see how it resolves. Stays on the list for now. Sell H, keep going down. I'm getting ready to maybe cover this because I'm short. It didn't trigger on that line, so now I'm moving my stops down to this level. But why cover until it triggers? It may keep going down. I run largely a long short portfolio. This is like one of the only shorts I got. But I'm thinking of adding a couple because like Mr. Bill here, I've shorted this a number of times down in here. I did not make all that much money, but shorting is sort of an offset to my long portfolio, just in case. And it's nice having offsets when markets go down and your shorts go down and you make money. Yeah, maybe your longs go down, but your shorts are making money for you. So it offsets any loss on that. Some people do options, sell calls. I short stocks. So CRWD, an example of a piss poor V rebound. Went from here. Yeah, okay. It really shouldn't be on this list. This is probably going sideways, but you know, there's no big green here. I bet you this starts going back down again. But who knows? But it shouldn't be here, so I'm putting it back into watching. Dell. Dell was the leader until it had this pink bar, and ever since then, it's not so hot. Not much of a rebound here. I bet you Dell is either sideways or down. Well, the green suggests sideways. So either way, it shouldn't be on this list. GH, signal, more signal, down, slight rebound. Nah. I tried doing this one long and it just did not work. ML, my old friend. I made a lot of money on you, ML, but now the bears own you right now. Look at that. A signal and it closed slightly down to the negative. Ugh. Microsoft. Not much of a V rebound, huh? I thought Microsoft was the king. Isn't it amazing how the tides have turned a little bit here? This is not number one on the radar anymore. If we start to weaken, I bet you this starts going back down. NUE steel, slight rebound, but I'll give this one more week. There, we know about that one. Rig, oil, equipment, box breakdown. Not much volume, but, well, that's just not a good trend. Serve. Own this one on the big green. Sold it here. You got the signal right here. The big gap down messed everything up, but I ended up selling it right there. And now it triggered to the downside there. Goes from hero to well, not relevant anymore. Snow, look at this. I'm thinking of shorting this. Pink bar signal. I bet you this will be a good one. It's pointed downwards toward the box breakdown. Where's its target? 60? That's how you find a short candidate. You don't short stocks when they're like here and here. You wait for signals, and there's one. Stinger, yeah, this one's got, again, oil and gas we know is not doing so hot. There's your signal. Inside bar, there's your sell signal. Sell short, etc. This one looks like it's coming back down. Again, oil and gas not doing so hot. So to summarize, a small list of potential bearish signals, a bigger list of bullish signals, and then there's a ton of stuff in the watching list. Like AMD here. Is there any signals here? Nah, whatever. It's just whatever. Affirm, yeah, it came back, but whatever. Apple, big Darvas box sideways, but no real signals. So that's how we can sum up the market. A nice rebound. New, different names are beginning to lead, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Want to show you a quick update on S&P 500 data. New data here as of August 20th. The index is 88% reported. So yeah, these numbers are looking pretty good right now. The future growth percentages, I mean, it's still looking great. An average of about 16.5% growth. Here's a problem. We are back to bubble valuation markets right here. Now, the forward PE is not at bubble levels yet, but we're basically forecasted. We've already booked one quarter at bubble valuations. We're going to book another quarter here at bubble valuations, and we got a couple more coming up. Market went up, yet estimates got cut a little bit, just a little bit. And now the Fed is going to cut rates, and throw a bunch of liquidity into the market. Oh my God. So this is where my view that we're either headed for the recession or we're likely to have just a liquidity, Fed money is just going to lift all stocks kind of market. Now, one person on Twitter asked, okay, so how long do we ride that? That's a very good question. So we're forecasted for maybe 4 quarters here. We're already halfway through. This would imply 6 more months of bubblicious. How long has it gone historically? Well, the best one I can point to is 1998. This is with the Asian contagion crisis, and the market went into sort of bubble valuations, and it never let go because the Fed started cutting and doing its thing, and we went a couple of years of being overvalued, and the market peaked right about it here. So we went basically 10 quarters of that, and then the market peaked and went down from here to here, and it took another couple of 2.5 years or so before valuations came back to normal, and growth stocks didn't start really perking up until this zone right in here. So if this persists, yeah, maybe we've got 6 months of rising tide and then we see, or maybe it's going to go longer. I don't know. And again, we see really what's going to happen in September. The reaction to the Fed in September is going to be hugely important, because if that's when a recession starts, maybe that's when the market peaks, or we go up for maybe another 6 months and then it peaks. I don't know. Too many scenarios to go through. Okay, last thing. Let's go through user requests. What do we got? Upstart? Yeah, we talked about Upstart. Hymns. Doo-doo-doo. Hymns, baby. Not hers, but hymns. Okay, what does that look like? That looks like a, drumroll, a Darvas box breakdown on volume. Sir, is this a rebound? Well, you've got a signal here that triggered to the upside barely. If you love it, you can buy it, but where's the big green volume? They don't love it enough to have rebought it right back there. I would say that's probably not going to work. It might. You need another week or two. If you bought it here, great. If you're long from up here, well, you got a loser and you might want to sell it. That's my opinion. PayPal. Okay. Bullish signal here. Then it formed an inside bar. Now it's gone up a couple weeks from that. Oh, where would I put this? Probably right here. And yeah, this is positive for the last couple of weeks. But overall, we go to the monthly. Ugh. Look at that. This one was the 2020 darling. Up here. Is it really coming back? No. I hate to say it. I think this is just a short-term trade. I'd rather see you in some of the new guys that have a chance. Where's this one going to go? I mean, maybe, yeah, you can make some good money on it, but I don't know. If you bought down in here, you're looking great. Just hold on to it. But this really isn't on my list. What else? Baba. Baba's at China. I don't like China. They're all frauds. Does this really look like a winner? Maybe it's turning right here, but Baba has always been thought of as fraudulent because of how they count their inventory and their sales. And the Chinese Communist government basically orders it around and tells it what to do. Because didn't they kick out Jack Ma? And they stole all his money? Well, this is not on my list. Good luck if you buy it though. La la la. LC lending. Oh, I haven't heard of LC in ages. Monthly. Ooh, we got a little bit of action here. But man, you see, it just peaked right here, and it just died ever since then. I it's one of the, you see, we got a bull market, and stuff's beginning to work, and if the Fed comes in and throws cash, yeah, this is going to go up like everything else. But I don't really see anything. There's probably a box in here, like somewhere, maybe like that. Well, you see, it's hard to draw a box range that really works on this one also. So if you're long this and you're making money, you're probably going to keep making money. It's just not anything I'd be excited about. SMCI and Avago. We did SMCI. Let's look at Avago, Broadcom. That's monthly view. Okay. V recovery. Did it come all the way back up? No, but that's decent back up. Any color signals? No, none. I'd say if you're long this from way back, yeah, you probably just hang on to it. Bet you it rides that moving average up, but nothing quite showing. And then here on the monthly, it's just got a nice upward monthly trend. Green, 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 green. This is one, if you've owned it for a long time, just keep owning it. For new money, there's better in my opinion for new money. So those are that too. And now these ones, DKS. In fact, I'm going to Dick's Sporting Goods probably later today. That looks like a box. If we draw it like yay. Box breakout, but volume's kind of low. Yeah, but it's working. Another one of these, rebounders that can work. Let's look at a monthly. Ooh, we got the yellow bar signal here. Monthly looks okay. If I buy any shoes from Dick's later, I'll be helping you out. What's the other one? WAB. Oh, Westinghouse Air Brake Technologies. I've never heard of WAB. On the monthly, it's looking good. You got a signal right here. And boy, it really moved up from that. Well, maybe something like that. Hard to say. Not a box breakout, but going sideways. The monthly view looks pretty good. And this here is forming a signal. So yeah, that's a potential shooter bar. So that's forming another potential buy signal. Depends on where it closes at the end of August. So yeah, it looks decent. PSA TRGP. What's PSA? Yeah, okay. Looks coming back on the monthly. Something like, well, not really. See, it's a little harder to draw boxes on these slower movers. Yeah, maybe like that. Yeah, moving up. Again, the economy's not doing so bad, so sure, why not? But for slower, longer term money, I'd say. What's that other one? TRGP. Yeah, Targa. This is an oil and gas MLP. Doing great. On the monthly. There's the big washout, and ever since then, it's been doing great. And now, look, it's coming back to prior highs. So probably the only question is it going to stop at these levels or keep going? Looks good. Starbucks and Reddit. We did Reddit, so let's look at Starbucks. They just recently fired their CEO and then hired another. Both of them only work till like 5 or 6 o'clock, which is fine because I don't work. I don't work that hard either. Starbucks monthly, a lot of sideways. Call it something like that. But yellow bar signal, we got a couple of signals in here. Looks bullish in there. Weekly's kind of a mess, but yellow bar signal. Sure, maybe go long in here somewhere. But overall, it looks like it needs work. For a long-term buy, that's not bad. Now and Netflix. ServiceNow. ServiceNow has what's going to have a box breakout on the monthly. Nothing too crazy. And on the weekly, V-shaped recovery, but look where it stopped, right at the edge of its Darvas box. It doesn't know whether to go higher or go sideways. Not bad though. Netflix. Do you guys know I've never had a Netflix account ever? Oh, Darvas box. Look at that. It went up. Gee, where did it stop? The resistance. Volume's low. Yeah, overall looks good. I traded it way back here. I bought it here and I sold it here. That was a good one. Ah, monthly chart. Look at that. Look at that. Came all the way down here and then rebounded. Spent the next couple of years going back all the way to the highs. So a good question would be, is this going to keep going higher? Maybe it's September? Or does this go sideways and maybe it needs a couple more months of bouncing along here, form a real base? Interesting. Okay, KTOS. Kratos. I don't really know this one. On a monthly chart, it would be something like, well, yeah, I'd say something like that. And the weekly, well, it's just not sticking out. Like, where's the big green volume? Yeah, the market's bullish here, but it's had a little recovery, but is this one going to double and triple from here? I don't know, man. Where's the volume? I think there's better out there. Last ARM. Monthly view of ARM. Box breakout here. Futzed around here. Sold back down. So now it's still back to going sideways, but I made good money on ARM. I made more money on ARM shorting it than Long's made buying it long, which is pure comedy. But here we've got a box sideways. And again, the V bottom, V recovery, this is like a 45% recovery off of the highs. Because it lost like 50% here, and now it didn't recover all that much. Any big green volume? Not really. This is one of those examples where tech is not the leader here. It's not. It had its moment in the sun, leader. And now here, it's just not. So I don't really like this as a long at this point. And I think it's going to go sideways for a while. But I hope it works for you. I hope you make money. Okay, so that's our weekend review. Oops, a little longer than I thought, but hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have a great trading week and make a lot of money. So enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye.